kind of relationships do you form with the bands or the entertainers? Does it always remain professional and cordial, or does it ever get closer than that?
Um, it depends. Some some band members I'm close with, or you exchange information, or I was at another festival last year called the Ramble Festival up in above Baltimore. And you get to know people, you hang out at the after parties, or you interview people beforehand, or you just bump into them, or you send them photographs. And so there is a great camaraderie, but at the same time, you realize every, I never try to insert myself and make myself a friend. If if it happens, it happens. But to a certain extent, this is an industry. But at the same time, I have some great relationships with some great people, and some of it's Instagram friendships, but some of it is you see someone at a festival again, and they're like, "Oh my god!" and they come up, or you hug each other because you haven't seen them in a year. So there is this kindred spirit, like you're all you know on a circus. You found out that their circus car pulled into the same town that your circus. Um, but yeah, I have some friends in the industry, some friends who are publicists as well, and that's a fun thing. You work with people long enough, and you learn good people. There's some people, some musicians that you don't vibe with, and you say hi or you wave and you take your place in the photo pit. Um, the musicians do rely on photographers, I would say, to a certain extent. For photography is the digital currency of the modern age. If you don't have a photograph of a concert, did it happen, or can you tell anyone how great it was? So I appreciate the fact that the artists appreciate us as artists and appreciate our role in the industry. Um, so there's some musicians I can't wait to see again. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Some you go up, they're coming up to Pittsburgh's the closest, which is a 5 hour drive, and say, okay, maybe next tour I'll see them closer. Or you send them an IM and say, so what does your tour router say about coming here next year? So it's fun. They're good people in the industry.
Well, tell us about one of your most joyful moments in this business, and also, if you dare, one of the worst.
They're all the best. They're all the worst. Sorry. I apologize. The there are okay. Let me sort it back because there's obviously the best, obviously the worst. Um, some of the more joyful ones are just getting that photograph that's just wonderful. But I'd say most photographers, our happiest moments are with the camera in our hand. So they're different joyful moments, which are all the same. Or it's which child is your favorite? All of them for different reasons. Um, my first, my most joyful moment was maybe there are many. Lock-in in 2016, where I realized I had what it took. I brought in my camera and I was getting some great photos. My first Twiddle concert, where I got my first press pass, was very joyful for that. Uh, Photographing Hosier was amazing. Photographing of Monsters and Men was amazing for other different reasons. I'd say last year, what was really joyful for me was going to Delfest, where I was photographing, and the pandemic was hard. Pandemic was hard on a lot of photographers because your home away from home was taken away. And you just went into the woods and took photographs of birds. Now, there's nothing wrong with photographing birds, but there's that magic of capturing photographs of musicians. So last year, photographing Delfest, where you were back and you felt normal and alive and just with people and so overwhelmingly happy to be back. But there are many moments, because even last week, I'm in the photo pit with Counting Crows, and I grew up with Adam Duritz, and I grew up in the album August and Everything After. First of all, every concert photographer is a music fan, and that's what drew us into it. So what happened is Counting Crows, August and Everything After, I still have the CD. When I go to buy a speaker, that's the album I play. And so here I was photographing Counting Crows, and Adam Duritz is sitting on a speaker in front of us, photographing and really appealing to the crowd and appealing to the photographers. And that was a moment where I wanted to sit down in the photo pit and just watch him and take it in. So every moment is joyful. Every moment is joyful. It really is. Even when as I said, when it's not, it still is. I've had some bad photo shoots where the lighting is horrible, and you figure, oh my God, did we get any photos that existed? And all the photographers go, we got nothing. But it's that camaraderie of, oh my God, we all went to war with each other, or we all went to battle and we came out the other side. And you look and you go, okay, I got a few good photographs. I would say I was disappointed with Van Morrison, where I got to photograph him, which was wonderful, but there was a single X on in the photo pit, and that's where you had to photograph from. And you were taken by your escort. So once again, photo policy. Sometimes you get an escort where someone takes you from a holding place, brings you to the photo pit, and then when it's over, they escort you back and they take your camera. They lock it up for the rest of the night. I was disappointed with Van Morrison because that X on the spot where they said this is where you can photograph, and it was a singular 1 foot spot. It was kind of obstructed, and so it wasn't great. But at the end of the day, we all think, I got to photograph Van Morrison, or I got to photograph these people. And sometimes there's a certain joy about being closer. So it's a matter of perspective. And wait, one last favorite moment, because as I said, there's so many.
Yeah.
Merle Fest, where Avett Brothers came out, and they're from the surrounding area, and it was like a hometown show. And it is pouring rain at Merle Fest this year. I mean, 9 inches in the first 48 hours. It was a slog. But they're singing, I think it was Unnamed number 4. Just a beautiful song. And they're playing to the audience. It's a hometown show. And I'm sitting underneath the rafters because that's the only place it's dry enough where my camera isn't going to get ruined. And they allow me to stay there. And they're singing, and they go off mic, and they're still singing out loud with this joyful exuberance. And I can hear them. I mean, the mic's off. They're out of mic distance, but you're hearing a concert that's a concert within a concert. You're getting to, it's pure bliss being that close. And they might have actually ruined that concert for me. I might not be able to go to another one. It was such a great performance.
Yeah. Do you have any bucket list moments? Anything you are dying to do before your time is done?
Yes. Well, one of my bucket lists, and we'll get there again, you never know, is right before the pandemic, I put in for Pearl Jam. And I was in correspondence with Pearl Jam. There was a very good chance I was going to get to photograph them. And there was that moment of going, 20,000 people, late February 2020. I'm not sure, but I want to go, but I'm not sure. And they wound up canceling the show. So I'd like to photograph them. That would be fun. I might want to photograph Bruce Springsteen. That would be fun. Uh, my
I'll
bucket
carry your
list moment.
camera. I'll carry your
Yes, yeah.
camera for you then.
Yes, thank you. I want that. I think someone who works for my website, Bob Adamak, he is he got to photograph Paul McCartney. So that was his bucket list moment. And I would say, even though I was sad I didn't go, in a weird way, for me as an editor as well of my own website, the bucket list moment was Bob sends me his photos. He goes, "These are my photos. Crop them, watermark them, do as you will." And for about 3 days, I was one of two human beings on this planet with those photos. And you're just like, it's Paul McCartney. Um, so yeah, the bucket list is, I don't know. My bucket list is keep enjoying this. Um,
Yeah.
the one thing I would say for people, or for any photographers or aspiring photographers out there, is the bigger the artist, the bigger the ask, and the more hoops and the more restrictions. So I would love to photograph some people, but you'd think, oh, that there are too many rules for it to be enjoyable per se. And the one thing I've learned, and this is my bucket list, I guess, emotional bucket list, I've gotten back a balance. Everybody out there who's listening, keep having fun at concerts. Keep having fun with music. The one difficulty for photographers over a while, or anyone in the industry, is, writers out there, all the creatives in the industry, is after a while, it's just another gig, it's another show. It's, you go home at the end of the night and you're immediately transferring photos to your computer, and you wake up the next morning, or you do an initial edit at 1 a.m. So after a while, the grind that I spoke of before, concerts become work, because they are. So for better or for worse, they're work. And you start to lose some of that joy of those blissful moments. Or even when you have bliss, you wind up in front of the computer at 4 a.m. and you're like, oh my God, I'm back here. I'm back to the editing part. Because for those, let's say, 20 great photos, I know one or two photographers who take 25 photos and they get 20 great ones. I know some who take 400. I know some who take 1,000. So there's a lot of editing and a lot of work. So my bucket list moment is right now where I am, which is, you get a little bit exhausted from the industry, you lose that shine and that glow, and then you come back to it and you go, oh, I'm back and I'm having great fun. Okay, and Dave Matthews. How does that sound?
Sounds good. And that's wonderful. Thank you. Any other advice to anyone considering trying to get into this?
Okay. My advice is, the first step is, in your local town or wherever you're listening to in the world, the venues that have open photo policy, go and explore. Bring a camera. See if you can create your craft. Do it for the love. Do it for the artistry. Be nice. Be humble. The people who are right behind you, they love the music just as much as you, so don't get in their way. This is a community. Just keep enjoying it. And if you take great photos, maybe do small bands in the area. Everyone needs digital currency. And keep moving, keep evolving, keep loving music. And that's it. But have fun, but recognize it's work. No photo looks good. Sometimes photos look great, straight in camera. And the other 90% can be challenging, but it's fun. So that's my answer. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Well, we would like to enjoy your photos. Where can we catch them?
Ooh, a majority of my photos are on my website, or sorry, a few places. There is my personal Instagram, which is IAMTOURMALET, Tourmalet. One of my journeys was I was much more into cycling photography. That was my first love. And then I evolved into music photography. The other place that I am pretty well known is my music website, www.dcmusicreview.com. Not all the photos are mine. I have some collaborators with me, but that's where you'll find a lot of my photos.
Jason Herman, thank you so much for talking about this aspect of music that we don't get to very often. It's really been a pleasure.
No, it's been great to get to talk to you. I look forward to talking to you more. I'll see what photos I can send to you.
That's exciting. Thank you very much. And
Absolutely.
thank you also, audience, for joining us on this trip. We hope you've enjoyed this interesting journey. If you have, please push that like button. Please subscribe if you want to catch more of these interviews. We've got lots of amazing ones to check out and lots more to come. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.